And when I talk, one of the major things which you will be discussing and talking about in the entire AWS course. Now, before closing yesterday, I started with something called landing zone. So I told that when I say landing zone, when I start a project, so let me say I have been given a task that you have to start a project on the AWS environment. So the first thing what we do is we go and create a landing zone. Now to create a landing zone, the first thing what we do is we sign in to our console, okay? And we go log in as a root user, and then we create the corresponding IAM users. So that is one task which you will do. I'm assuming that that task is done. And now you are logging with your credentials and you are inside. 1 second, GitLabs. You're logging with those credentials. And now once you come here, the first activity which you will do is you will create a VPC for yourself. So you choose a region which you want to, and then in that region, you will go ahead and start your work. So this is my region. So Mumbai is my region. And here I will go to VPC. And what I will do is I'll create a VPC here. When I come here, I will see that there are few things which are already there. Like I have already created a VPC for my morning class. So I'll go ahead and delete that first. And there is something here. They're saying there are some instances which are linked to this. So let me go to EC2. Let me quickly delete everything. Let me go ahead and delete everything. So I'll wait for these instances to terminate, and then I'll start. And when I say I'm going to create a VPC, VPC actually stands for Virtual Private Cloud. And here, each word is important. You can customize the network configuration. So this is a network component, first point. Now the network component which I get from Amazon by default, it is non-customizable, means it is something which is pre-configured. Now, when it comes pre-configured, the major problem with that is security. You saw that there is something called default security group. And in this default security group, everything is enabled by default. Means anybody can log in, anybody can log out, anybody can do anything. So that is problem number one. I cannot do any configuration, and whatever configuration is there, it is of no use. So let me show you that first. So let me just come here and say that, is it done? So this is closed. Come to VPC here. This is the demo VPC. I would like to delete this. So it is saying there are resources linked to this. So what are the resources? So there is a NAT gateway and there is a VPC peering connection. Okay, let me delete both of them. So first is peering. Wait a second, please. Wait a second. Yes, this is peering connection. So let me first delete all these things, okay? And then I will start fresh. Delete. And delete the related entries. Delete. Okay, so this is deleted. Now again, go back. VPC. Again, let me try to delete this. There is a NAT gateway. Let me delete that also.
Top of peering, it is there. Not gateway. Okay.
Just stop to peering.
Wait a second. I had just done a search. Thank you. I can delete this also. Delete this. Now let me go back. It's still deleting. So I will wait for this to get completed. And then once it is completed, I can go back and I can try to delete it again. Demo VPC is the name I had given. I'm trying to delete that only. Still saying network interface is there. NAT is there. So what is this network interface? Let me check this. This is because of the NAT only, I guess. Delete this. Network interface is in use. So it is because of the NAT only. Once this NAT gets deleted, this will also get deleted.
Subnets are this one.
No, this is NAT only. See, NAT will get deleted, then this will also get deleted. So I have to wait for that NAT to go. Meanwhile, let me try to detach this. It is not attaching me to detach it. Let me try to delete this. Use. 1 second. Let me go ahead and try deleting this guy. So basically, whatever link I have created, I'm trying to delete everything. I can see this also should be deleted. Okay, now I think it should get deleted. Let me come here, come here, come here, delete. Yes, it will be deleted. Now, considering that everything gets deleted or whatever I was unnecessary for me, I got deleted. If you see here, there is VPC and there is one. Similarly, if you go to all the regions, you will see all the regions have at least one VPC. Forget about North Virginia because I'm doing something. All the regions have one VPC. Now this VPC is nothing but the default one. So when I go to this default VPC, how will I recognize that this is a default VPC? So if you see this VPC and go all the way down here. Wait a second. See here, it will say default VPC. Yes, means this one is a default VPC. Now the problem with this VPC is that it has no traffic boundaries, in the sense anybody can come in, anybody can go out. So as a user, when you start your work, you will go ahead and create a VPC. So you will have to go ahead and create a VPC. So this is VPC and more. So your VPC, from here come to create VPC, and here I want to create VPC and more. So along with VPC, I'm going to also create few more items. So I will go and say VPC and more. So this screen comes up and this is the preview. Whatever is happening is a preview here. So if I come here, VPC and more, it says, tell me what name would you like to give? So I would like to give the name as demo, and the name automatically is demo VPC. As of now, if you see, there is a CIDR block. CIDR block is nothing but there is an address range. So it is saying it is having 65,536 IP addresses. Now the question comes, how can you say that? So to understand this, I will go to a website called CIDR.xyz, and here I will put these numbers 10, 0, 0, 0, 16. So if I come here, 10, 0, 0, 0, 16, I can see the first IP address is 10.0.0.0.1 and the last is 10.0.255.254 and the number is 65,536. It means these many IP addresses are there. Here you can go with other numbers also, like 32. So if you say 32, there is only one IP address, 100 or 110.0.0.0. So there is only one IP address. So the range can have anything between 16 and 32. So if you say 33, see, it is wrong. This is not correct. So it will not take. If you say 5, it will see these many IP addresses are there. So the upper limit is 32 and you get one IP address. So somebody you will see is writing 16. So he's getting these many IP address. Some other person is writing 24. So he will get these many IP address. So basically this /24, /16, /32, all these are the range of IP address. How many IP addresses would you like to go with? So when you create a VPC, you will be allocated a set of IP addresses like you see here. So whenever you create a VPC, you will be given a range of IP address. Like you can start here, you can end here, you can start here, end here. So IP addresses are like phone numbers. Each mobile provider has a certain range of phone number allocated to him. Similarly, when you start with Amazon or you start with an organization, you will buy a range of IP address and you will want that your company is always using that range of IP address only. And we say this is IP address whitelisting, means you allow the customers to use that particular range of IP address only. And the customers, they do not use this range of IP address, means they will not be able to log in. So you can do that kind of a security. So if you see here, I have told that I'm going to use 10.0.0.0.16, means 65,536 IP addresses. Then if you come here, you see there is something called Internet Gateway. So Internet Gateway is a channel or it's a gateway which will allow all the traffic from internet to come inside. Okay. So if you see this yellow one, that is my VPC and the VPC range is 10.0.0.0.16. So I am also creating a VPC with this range 10.0.0.0.16. Then at the entry, I have something called Internet Gateway. Now this Internet Gateway is something which will allow the traffic to come from outside world, from internet. Then in case you have a VPN, VPN is a private connectivity, intranet kind of connectivity. So if you have private connectivity, you go with something called VPN, virtual private network or virtual private gateway. Whatever the traffic, can't we have less than 14? No, you can't have less than 14. If you go here and you can give it a try, if you go with all these things, see here. Here randomly you give any number, that's not a problem. But the major problem will come when you start using them, because you don't have anything, right? You can't simply say that whatever IP addresses are available in this world, I will use everything. So that is not possible. So you will have to tell what range you are going to use, and that range you should own that range, else it will not work. Anyhow, if you come here and say something like this, 000, and you say 0, see here, it means whatever IP address is available in this entire world, I want to use everything. So obviously you are not the owner of this entire range. So you will not get the IP for that much, because Amazon also will have one range and that will allow you to go stay within that range. So you have chosen a range 10.0.0.0.16, which gives you 65,536 IP addresses. If you want, you can use anything among this. This is the range of Amazon, and you can use anything among this range. If you want, you can use anything outside. Yes, you can, but either you should be the owner of that, or you should be not able to allow, you will not be allowed to use it. Now, if you see here, the traffic is coming either from Internet Gateway or from VPN or VPG, and it is coming and hitting my router. Now router based on the routing table will decide where the traffic should go. It should go here or it should go here. So if you see here, there is something called public subnet and there is something called private subnet. Now, in an application like Amazon.com, I have two things. I have a web interface and I have a DB interface. Now, if you go to the website Amazon.com, you'll be able to see that there is a person who is buying something, means 5 people bought before, 3 people bought before you. So that kind of details it will show you. It will show you that this is the price drop. This is the item which you would like to purchase. So basically on the website, it will show you the item. It will show you the price. It will also tell you that 5 people have bought this item before you came here. But these all details are something which is publicly available, means available for everyone. But who was the person, at what price they bought, what was their billing address, what card they used to log in or buy that particular thing? Did anyone ask that? Or even if you ask, do you get access to that? So there is some data which is public in nature, which anybody can come and access. And there is some data which is private in nature, which only the admin or the owner of the account can access. So any data which you don't want to give to everyone is known as private, and data which you want to share with everyone is known as public. So public data is put in public subnet and private data is put in private subnet. Now the question can be, how will I differentiate what is private and public? Okay, or how my AWS will differentiate what is private, what is public. So if you use public subnet, you get a public IP address, and using that public IP address, you will be able to connect. But if you use private thing, you will not get any public IP address and you will not be able to connect. So there are two types of subnets here. Subnet is equivalent to your availability zone. You can think subnet equivalent to availability zone. So there are two types of subnets, private and public. In private, I will keep the private data, which I don't want to share with everyone, like database, and only certain users or admin kind of people will be able to see that data. It will have no public IP, so no random guy can come and access it. But on the second hand, I will have public data in my public subnet. I will also get a public IP address so that everybody can come and see the content. So public subnet has a range and private subnet has a range. Then route table is routing the traffic to this location. In between, I see there is something called NACL and security group. Now, what is NACL and what is security group? Now, NACL and security group are there for defense. They are there for firewall. So you already know what is security group. Okay, I'll come to that again, but still, you know what is security group. Now, to me, NACL is also similar to security group, yet it is different. Okay. So let me just come here and duplicate this guy. Or let me just create this VPC first. Okay. And then I will show you all these things. So I'm creating a name VPC with the name as demo -VPC will automatically come. This is the IP range which I'm choosing. Here I'm saying I'm only going to deal with IPv4 address. So no IPv6 address is there. The tenancy for is default. So I'm not going to deal with dedicated servers, because if you go with dedicated, you end up spending a lot of money. Number of availability zones. So in one availability zone, I want to put everything. See, if you say 2, AP South 1, AP South 1B came, 1A and 1B came. But I'm saying I'm only going to deal with 1, AP South 1. And it says, choose the number of availability zones where you will want to provision your subnet. So if you choose only one, you can see here one public subnet and one private subnet is coming up. If you choose 2, you can see 2. If you choose 3, 3. Once you choose the subnet, you choose the number of availability zones, you choose how many subnets you want, how many public subnets you want. You can say 2, 4 like that. So I will make my availability zone as 1. Okay. And here I'm only going with one one public subnet. So public subnet is a subnet which is used for web applications that needs public access. Means anybody can come and see the content. Similarly, if you talk about private subnet Private subnet is basically used for secure backend and resources that do not need public access. So you can see here, I'm creating one AP South 1A as my availability zone. And here I'm keeping two subnets. One is public, the other one is private. Then there is another component called NAT gateway. Now, think of a scenario. There is some problem in your private subnet, but you are saying nobody is allowed to go inside the private subnet. But at least the admin, at least the genuine person who has access, he should be able to go, because at the end of the day, there can be many things which can happen. Like something I'm running in my public private subnet went wrong. I want to connect it to internet and do some debugging. I want to upload something, or I want to make some changes. So for that kind of scenario, I have to make a route, and that route comes via NAT gateway. So it says NAT gateway will be created, which will go ahead and help you to connect to your private subnet. Okay, so NAT gateway is something like this. Hold on for a second. Yes. So if you see here, this is the setup. Now, if I talk about NAT gateway will sit somewhere here, and it will allow you to enter here. So all the way traffic will come like this. It will go to NAT, and via NAT, you will be able to reach your instance. Then once this is done, it will again go via all this, and it will go out. Okay. So NAT can be thought as a channel or as a component which will allow you to connect to your private subnet. It will always sit in the public subnet, but it will allow you to connect to your private instance. Okay. So please remember this, that NAT always sits on the public subnet, but it allows you to connect to your private instance. Okay. So let me come here. VPC endpoint, if you want, you can give, else you can keep it as none. And DNS hostname and DNS resolution also you can enable your wish. Now, if you see here carefully, it is trying to create everything one by one, like a VPC will be created, a DNS hostname will be created. Now, after VPC is getting created, it is getting verified. Then subnet got created. Again, so two subnets are there. If you remember my diagram, I have two subnets. One is public, the other one is private. So two subnets got created. See here, subnet. Then internet gateway got created. Then internet gateway got linked to my VPC. Then route table got created. And then again, route table association happened. And finally, the route table was created and everything is done. So as of now, if I come here, I will be able to see my other VPC. So if I go to this dashboard, I will be able to see two VPCs are there. This one, which you can see here, this is by default. So I can just rename this. I will say default, DEFAU, default VPC. I'm just giving a name so that I don't get confused. I have my demo VPC. Now, another way to validate that this is not the default one is, if you come here and check here, see default VPC, the answer is no. For this default VPC, the answer is yes. It means the VPC is getting created. So demo VPC, the default is no. Now, with this demo VPC, I got a VPC ID, which ends with E6E3. Okay, please remember this. Now, with this, I was also supposed to create subnets. So let me come here to subnets. And I can see two subnets got created. So if you click on this, demo subnet public 1. So I'll just rename it. Okay, I will just say public subnet, something like this. Subnet. And this one is private subnet.
In real time, for our convenience, we can make this editing, or it's need some approvals?
No. You can make these changes as per your convenience. Doesn't need any approval or anything like that. So why am I making these changes? Because the readability becomes a better. Then you can see there, this two subnets which I created are created in my demo VPC. You can come here. These two subnets are in my demo VPC. Now you are randomly saying this is public, this is private, but how to distinguish that this is private or this is public? So the public subnet should allow me to allocate public IP address. So for that, the public subnet, I will go make change. I will come here and say edit subnet settings. And here I will say enable auto assign public IPv4 address. So by default, when you create, both of them are private in nature. But down the line, I have to go to my private subnet and make that change. Once I have done that change, if I go all the way here, auto assign public IPv4, yes. Auto assign IPv4 public, auto assign IPv4 address, no. So if it is a private subnet, it should be no. And if it is a public subnet, it should be yes. That is the core meaning of private and public subnet. Okay. Once the private and public subnets are configured, I will go next to my route tables. So route tables will contain the logic how to navigate the traffic. So let me just come here and come here. I will arrange it by my VPC name. Hold on for a second. So if you see here, there are three demo VP inside inside this three got created. Okay. And 1 second. One second. Why three got created? Only two should have got created. Just let me see where is the third one coming from. See here. Anyhow, this third one, I am not sure where is it coming from. This one. I don't remember this third one. Let me just check. How is it coming? Okay, let's ignore that third one. I don't know why that thing came, but somehow that came. Now, if you see carefully, this demo RTB public is associated with public subnet. So I can come here and see that. Okay. So come here and click on this down. Then you get something called subnet association. Go here and see whether it is associated to subnet public subnet or not. If it is associated, well and good, you can just come out. No changes required. Okay. Then again, click on this. I'm this time going to the private subnet. So this is my private subnet. Again, if you want, you can make the changes. Anyhow, it is telling private subnet. Go to subnet association. Here you will see it is associated to your private subnet. Okay. So I am able to see these things. Public subnet associated to public route table. Private subnet associated to private route table. I can see the router, okay, which is routing the traffic. I can see the VPC, I can see the subnet. Now, where is this internet gateway? To keep coming down, here you will see internet gateway. And here you will see that demo IGW, demo internet gateway. If you click on this, it is linked to your demo VPC. So I can see this guy also. Okay. Now I want to see this NACL and security group. Let me come here. So let me keep coming down. NAT also got created, but I'll come to that later. So I will go to NACL. Now, if I come here, it says two subnets. So this is the one, but anyhow, just to confirm, you can come here and see demo VPC. Okay. Now, let me go inside this NACL. Why do I need NACL? So I'm saying it is an extra wall of defense. It is addition to your security group. Now just scroll down and go here. You can edit inbound rules. And here, just like your security group, you can change the security policy. Okay. But there are few things which are different. First, if you go ahead and add new rule, you will see there is a number or there is a priority number here, rule number, priority number. So you can set a priority here, 1, 1, 10. And you can say SSH. And you can open it for, you can allow or deny. So this is extra. So there are two items extra. You have a rule number, you have allow or deny rule. Okay. Whereas in security group, you don't have this. If you want, you can make the changes. So you can prioritize the rules and you can not only allow the rules, but also deny the rules. So this is the benefit of NACL. Okay. If you keep going down here, you can go to your security group. And here also, you will see your VPC. So this is your VPC E6. Go inside. If you go inside your security group, you will be able to see that the default security group always comes with all traffic. So everything is allowed to go inside and outbound. Everything is allowed to come outside, right? So this default one I'm not going to use. So I can either go and edit this, or I can also delete this. Okay, edit or you can delete. But as of now, I'm not doing anything. I'll leave it as it is. Later, I will do all these things. But I found two differences. Let me take the questions. How IP range is subdivided for public and private subnet? We can own. Okay, sorry. Now, one thing which I could have shown you, but I forgot to show you. So there's a valid question, like how is the IP range getting decided? So in your subnet, you told that public subnet has this IP range and private subnet has this IP range. Where did you tell me that? You never showed me that. So my bad, I was to show you, but anyhow, VPC dashboard, create VPC. So the name is project. This is the range for the entire VPC. Here, when you come, you can use this customize CIDR range. So basically, this is the range for your entire VPC. Default number of availability zone, I'll put it as 1. So 1. Number of public subnet, 1. Customize subnet CIDR range. So I should have done this. Okay. And here, they will ask me, what range would you like? So you can say what range you want. Increase the range or decrease the range. You can do all these things. Okay. Similarly, for your private subnet also, you can increase or decrease the range. So basically, you can decide the range. I took the default values. I could have shown you that, but I did not show you that. So I'm showing you again. So you can customize the subnet CIDR range block and you can create your own instances. Okay. So this is what you should have done, which I forgot to do. Anyhow, now I'm back here. And how does NACL rule number prioritize? The high number, high priority? Yes. So if I go back to NACL, the higher the number is, like, let me come here. Network NACL, go inside. So if I come here, see, 100 will always get the highest priority. Okay. Then 110, then 120, 130, or you can have numbers at your wish, but the smallest number gets the highest priority. Okay. So here the number is starting from 100. So 100 will get the highest priority and 110, 120, 130. After that, the priority will be decided. Two more differences are there. This security, this NACL will only be 1. So every subnet will have only 1 NACL. That is fixed. You cannot have more NACL, but security group, you can have any number, 10, 20, 100, 200, 500. Any number of security groups can be there. But when it comes to NACL, only 1 will be there. Plus, the sequence cannot change. So first wall of defense will be NACL and then security group. You cannot change the sequence. Okay. So these are four major differences between NACL and security group. It is one of the very common and important interview question. What is the difference between NACL and security group? Why should you use NACL if security group is doing the same thing? Okay, so the answer is what I have told you just now. Now, as of now, if I come here, I can see my stuffs are created. Okay. And I can use this new VPC, which I have created, to create instances. So I can create instance in my public subnet. I can create instances in my private subnet. Okay. So let me come here and say EC2.
And just a minute. Can you tell me that NACL part again? Just it's little bit confusing actually. Security groups and NACL part. Fine. Actually.
So if I come back here, I'm telling there are four major differences. First is the sequence of occurrence. So NACL will always come first. So because the traffic is coming from here, right? The traffic is coming from internet. So always the first wall of defense will be NACL and then security group. NACL count will always be 1. So if you consider this subnet, 1 NACL, this subnet, 1 NACL. So every subnet will have only 1 NACL. Okay, that is count is fixed. But the security group can be 2, 10, 20, 100, 1, 500, any number can be there. So you can have any number of security groups, but NACL will always be 1.
Means when one subnet, we can have many security groups here, right?
Yes.
Or
one subnet, you can have many security groups. I can create and show it to you.
Okay.
And then NACL has that priority 100, 101, 102, 103, like that you can prioritize, or 100, 110, any sequence you can maintain. And then you have allow and deny both. But in security, you don't have.
What is the use of it actually? I'm not getting that. Actually, in security group, we can allow the port.
See, when you are running something on cloud, okay, cloud says that I'm following all the standards for security. This complies to one of the standards of security, that if NACL fails to protect your instance, there is a security group to protect your instance. Okay. So the prime
it's another wall of security, you mean to say, like
yes.
Okay.
So prime concern of all the customers who come to cloud is my data secure? Is your cloud secure? So this is how cloud says that fine, these are the stuffs which I've implemented to make your data, to make your instance double secure. So this is what we are trying to do. Okay. Now I will create one instance in public subnet and one instance in private subnet. Then I will show you, because I don't have a IP here, public IP here, how will I connect to this? Okay, I'll show you that. Now we are creating a single network. Suppose if we have two different, I will show you, if you have two different networks, means two different VPC, how you can connect both of them. That also I'll show you. That is called something called VPC peering. Okay, so I'll show you that. Give me some time for that. So let me come here. I'm going to create two EC2 instances in two different subnets. So let me come here. So as of now, if I come here, security instance, nothing is there. I will launch one instance and I will give the name as web instance. And I will launch this in my own network. I'm using Amazon Linux. I'm using 64-bit T2 micro. Key pair, I already have one. So I'll use this custom KP. And in the network settings, I'm not going to use the default VPC. See here, I went to edit. I'm not using the default VPC. I will use the demo VPC, which I created. Okay, so see here, I'm creating demo VPC. Then, hold on for a second. Let me go ahead and create a new key pair. Okay, I'm going to create a new key pair. Okay. Wait a second now. I'm going to create a new key pair. I'll tell you why I'm creating a new key pair, but let me just create a new key pair. Mumbai region, come back here. Security group, not security group. Anyhow, if I have to create a security group, I can do that also. Create a security group. And I'm saying evening security group. evening security group. Description can be anything. And remember, where are you creating it? Are you creating it in your default VPC or you are creating it in your demo VPC? So I will create in my demo VPC. And in inbound, I will say that I will allow custom traffic, or I will allow port number 22, same thing. And I will allow, so this time you say I will not, my IP means this machine, whichever machine I am currently working, you can log in from here only, just to make your application very much secure. If you want, you can add more rules, but as of now, I'll leave this only, one rule only I'm adding. It says, give me a description. Okay. Come and create a security group. Similarly, I will also go and create a key. So this is my key and I'll create a PEM key. Okay. I'll tell you why I'm creating a PEM key. But EVENG hyphen PEM. Okay. I'm creating a PEM key. So don't create a PPK. I will create a PEM key. So EVENG hyphen PEM is created. Now go back here, refresh this guy, and you will be able to see your EVENG PEM. So I'm using a PEM key here. Then network, I'm using a demo VPC. One very important thing which you see here, I'm using the public subnet. If I use public subnet, this auto assign IP got enabled. But if I use private subnet, see here, auto assign IP got disabled. This is the reason while creating the subnet, I went and changed that because I want that this should automatically pop up here. So I will run the web on public subnet and I will create one more DB, which I will run in the private. So as of now, I'm going to select an existing security group. So I have this evening security group, which I just now created, and everything I'll leave as it is. Go ahead and create this. Now this is the instance. Now this instance will get a public IP address. Why? Because it has been created in a public subnet. Now similar things I will do, but this time I will launch it in the private subnet. Okay, same thing I will do. I will say DB server. Again, Amazon AMI, T2 micro. Key pair is same. Key pair is same. Evening KP. I will go and create this. Wait a second. Edit. I will create this in demo VPC, but here I will choose private subnet. The moment I use private subnet, it becomes disabled and I will use same security group, whatever I've used last time. Same stuff. I'm not changed anything. I'm just changing the security group. Now go back. Remove this. So the one which is terminated, I'm not interested in that. So I can see two is there. One is web. I can see a IP address. I see a DB server. But for this DB server, I don't see a public IP. I have a private IP, but I'm not able to see a public IP. Come here. See here. This is having a public IP. Public IP means you can connect it over internet. Can I try this? So just try like this, connect, and just come here and say EC2 connect. Connect. Let's see. You are unable. Okay. Configure network access to the instance. Okay. So just give me 1 second. I will just change my security group. It is because of the security group. Back here. Cancel this. So this is my web instance running. Okay, still initializing. So probably it may be because of that. But I can give it a try. Web instance again. Web instance EC2 user. Connect. It should connect. If it is failing, then probably it is because of the security group. But ideally it should connect. There is no problem here. but I can go ahead and check once. Now we are creating okay. The public IP will change, right? And suppose if we have to use the same IP, we can make that, we can use elastic IP. Yes, all the things which I have taught you earlier, like using elastic IP and all those things, everything will be applicable here. Okay. The only thing is you are not using the default VPC, rather you are using the custom VPC which you have created. Okay. So let me cancel this. I think because of this it is failing. Web's instance, go to security, and in the security group I will make changes. So I have told this thing that connect to port 22, but this IP range, I think because of this it is failing. So I will just make a small change here. I will say anywhere from IPv4 and I will save the rule. Okay. As of now, I made this change so that I am able to connect. So instance running. The status check has passed. Web instance, IP address, connect, and let's connect. And you can see it is connected. EC2 user @ 10.0.6.189. So you can come here and check. (10.0.6.189). It means this is normal. You connect to your instance, everything is normal. Instead of using default subnet, I used my own subnet and I used my public subnet. But how about this DB server? Do I have any way to connect it? So if you remember, I pushed something called, and here we divide the IP into public and private. Suppose if we want to divide into 3 parts. No, 3 parts and all is not possible. We can divide it into 2 parts only, private and public. There is no third partition, not possible. This is as per the architecture of AWS. Now, it says DB server. Now, I don't know how to connect because there is a public IPv4 absent, but I have private IP address. And if I go to this connect SSH client, here it says that if you have your private key, which is evening pem-pem, I can help you to connect via your private IP, but only if your NAT gateway is enabled. So while creating VPC, if you remember, I enabled this NAT gateway. So NAT gateway is saying that I am going to give you the public connectivity, okay, via this elastic IP address to this particular machine only if it is enabled. So if you remember, I have enabled this. So directly this IP, which is this machine's IP address. Okay, 10.0.1. So wait a second, 10.0.135.252. So this is saying, oh, this is a private IP for this NAT gateway. So it is saying directly you will not be able to connect, but via NAT gateway, I can allow you to connect. But you need 2 things. One, this key, this evening pem dot this thing, I need this, and you can run this command. Okay, so what I will do is I'll take this key and I'll try to copy it to my machine. Okay, so give me this, Control-C. Come here. Don't use nano editor, because if you use nano editor, sometimes it fails. Use VI editor, VI, and paste this guy, whatever you have copied. Enter. Escape I. So I'm in insert mode. Then come to your local. It is there in my downloads. So this is my evening PEM. Open it up. Make sure that you do not copy paste any unnecessary thing. Control-A, Control-C, and paste it here. While pasting, be double sure that you have pasted exactly what you have copied. Some extra space here and there, it will not work. Once done, escape, :WQ, exclamation mark. So I have used VI editor and I have copied this content here. Evening-pem.pem. After that, what it is saying, run this command, chmod. Okay, chmod is changing the permission. So it's saying do that. So come here and do this. Let me clear all these things. Then what it is saying? It is saying run this command, ssh-i ec2 user @ this IP. So see here, as of now, I'm in 10.0.6.189. I'm trying to connect to a machine 10.0.135.252. Would you like to connect? Yes. And here you go. You are connected to the different machine 10.0.135.252 from 10.0.6.189. How you are able to connect? You are able to connect because you had NAT gateway. You had copied your key here, and then you are able to connect. So this connection will only and only work if I have NAT gateway. If NAT gateway is not there, it will not work. And once I have this connection, I can do everything what I want. And once my work is done, I can exit, and this connection to the private.
So that is 10.0.135.252 is the private.
Yes, you can
private
just,
like network.
Yes.
We are connecting private subnet.
Yes, you can come and check here. So this is your DB server 10.0.135.252. 10.0.135.252. So this is your private machine or the private DB server.
Because the NAT gateway showing as deleted.
No. NAT gateway should not be deleted, man.
State is showing as deleted.
I'll just refresh it. If it is showing, it is the old one then. See, this is alive. Can't be the case. If I delete this, no, it will not be able to connect. See, Tuesday 21. So today only.
But VPC ID also showing different and the state is deleted.
Wait a second. Without NAT, it cannot work. That is 200% sure. Wait a second. 1 out of 1. Because when I was creating my, wait, I can show you this. VPC, demo VPC. Okay, see, you can try once, but without NAT gateway, definitely it will not work. That I'm 100% sure. It is showing deleted, but ideally it should not be deleted. This is a different NAT ID. But while creating my my VPC dashboard, I told I need a NAT. You can see one NAT is present here, man. For some reason it is not showing, but should not be in deleted state. Demo NAT.
Is it working because it's in the same VPC or something like that?
No. It should not be the case. It should not be the case because without NAT, that will not work. So NAT is meant for that only. You can try once. You can try without NAT, but I am very much sure without NAT, it will not work. Somehow it is not showing. It is showing me the old one, but ideally it should not work.
Okay, we enabled the IG gateway to both subnets.
Tell me again, we enabled
Internet gateway.
No.
To both subnets.
No.
All right.
No, internet gateway is only enabled to, wait a second, I will show you that. Internet gateway is only enabled for demo VPC. Okay, so demo VPC, see, come here. See, internet gateway will enable for everything, but when it comes here, there is route table. Okay, so route table is linked to my public subnet and private subnet. So this route table will go and hit here, private subnet. right? In private subnet, there is no IP address. So it will not be allowed to go ahead. It is kind of blocked. Only channel is this. Okay. IGW is VPC level. Yes. Internet gateway is at VPC level. Okay. You can try this without NAT gateway. You can try, but without NAT gateway, it will not work. Okay. So you will have to go ahead with this setup. Fine.
So this document will be shared, right?
Yes, yes. I'll share all the documents with you. I'll share the link and I'll share the document with you. All these documents I'm for you only, I'm not going to keep anything. In fact, I'll share it today only. There is some delay from my side only. Now, one more thing. Now, let me say that there are two instances. Let me come up with this. Now, let me say there are two instances. This is one account. This is another account. There is one instance here. There is one instance here. Now, they both want to talk with each other. Or let me say the same company has two accounts. And they want that whatever work they have done here, they should replicate here. But because they are in two different accounts, or more importantly, they are into two different VPC, they will not be able to do it. So to make that thing happen, we do something called VPC peering. Okay, so let me come here and see here, peering connection. Click on this. And here, VPC could not be peered, does not exist. Okay, that's okay. So this is to be deleted. Okay, this is already deleted. Anyhow, I'll create a new peering connection. Okay, and I'll give a name. So let me say network peering. Okay, now there will be a requester who will request for the connection, and the other one will be the acceptor. Now in my machine, I have two VPC. One is demo, the other one is default one. The most important thing is that both of them are running with a different range of IP address. So let me say my demo VPC, which is running at 10.0.16, is requesting to connect with, so you can use another account. I will go with my account only. So this region, another region. So you can connect with another region also. Another region, and who is the other one? So the other one is default VPC. And basically I'm trying to do something like this. This guy will try to connect with this thing via VPC peering. Okay. So this is my demo VPC, and demo VPC wants to connect with default VPC using this VPC peering. So this guy is the requester and this guy is the acceptor. So because both of them are in the same account, I can simply go ahead and say, create a peering connection. But if you do it for some other project or some other account, the other guy will get a notification like this, pending action. So you are requesting to connect, but the other guy should accept. So now if the other guy accepts, okay, network peering, so he will come here and say, okay, I accept this connection. Now what will happen? You will accept the connection. Now you have to modify your route table. So go ahead. So in the route table, wait a second. So this machine's route table. So this is my public subnet, which this corresponds to basically my demo VPC. Okay. So demo VPC range is this, right? Demo VPC range is this. So demo VPC should allow any traffic which is coming from here to go in. Okay. So in demo VPC, I will allow this traffic. So let me just copy this. And I'm going to the public subnet. Come here. I will go to routes. I will go edit routes. Here I will add the route. So this traffic is anyhow allowed, right? This traffic, which is from the default, should be allowed to come inside via peering connection, which is this. Save changes. This is on the demo VPC. This is on the demo VPC. Similarly, I will again go back to the default VPC. Go to the route table. Here I will say, routes. Here I will say edit routes. Any traffic which is coming from here, should be allowed to come in via peering connection, which is this. Save changes. Now what will happen? Both the VPCs or both the address range can talk to each other. I can show you that. So this time what I will do, I will go ahead and create a different EC2 instance. And this time I will create it on the, so let me say I'm going to create one more EC2 instance, but this time I'm going to create it on default subnet. Okay. So new instance, but this is going to go with instance type T2 micro, key pair and all, you keep everything same. Evening PEM. Select, sorry. So it is going with default security group, okay? Or the default VPC. Security group, you can use default only. That's it, I guess. Launch. Okay, I could have done one more thing, but I forgot to do that. I could have disabled that IP address, but it got this thing, but I will try to connect via this, okay? Instance state. So let this machine come up. And from here only, I will try to connect, okay? Okay, let me refresh this. Okay, come here, new instance, connect. So I will use this command and I'll make changes, okay? EC2 user @ I'm going to use the private IP of this machine, okay? So the private IP is new instance is this. This is the private IP 172.31. Okay, this I am connecting and I'll go back here. Try to do the same thing here. This IP address is that is other IP address. See, I'm able to connect. So they are two different VPC, but I'm able to connect because I have done VPC peering. Okay. So this is you do when you connect to a different machine or different VPC altogether. Why are we doing via peering? You cannot do via ACL because via ACL, one subnet will not allow you to enter into the other subnet. So the address range is different. So if you try, no, it will not work. You can give it a try, Vaishnavi. It will not work because both the address ranges are different. See here, this address range is different and this address range is different. So it will not allow you to go ahead and work. So this will need a good amount of practice. I would request you to go ahead and practice this. Any questions which you have, you can come up with them tomorrow and we can go ahead and try to resolve them. Okay, but this will need practice. Without practice, you will not be able to understand. Okay. Any questions, please go ahead. Fine, we'll see tomorrow then. I'm expecting that you will practice and come up with questions tomorrow. See you then, guys.
Vikas, one question.
Yep.
instance which we are connecting to is that instance PIM we need to keep in this instance, right? Like suppose now we are connecting to default VPC's instance, right?
Hmm.
So the PIM key of default VPC's instance should be embedded here, right?
Yes.
Okay.
See, key and all will not matter much. Key and all will not matter much. Main important thing is whether your VPC peering is done or not. If the VPC peering is done, you can just open port 22 and just try to connect. It will work.
Okay. PIM key doesn't matter much.
No. Okay. Fine. See you then. Why are we using PEM key? Again, this is the standard of Amazon because Amazon wants you to connect via PEM key. There is that way of operating. So you have to use PEM key. PPK is not allowed here. Okay. See you then, guys. Remember to delete all your instances once your work is done. Okay. Else unnecessary, it will run and cost you money. So on that note, I'll be stopping now. We meet tomorrow again and we continue from here.
Thank you, Vikas.
Thank you.